Hi everyone, and welcome back to Cat and Hubby's Creations. I'm Cat, and this is my little world of yarn and stitchcraft. In today's video, I'm going to see how many of my little critters for my fish tanks I can crochet in about 2 working days. So that's about 12 hours total. I'm using a Pomodoro style app to track my time and progress. I'm going to take you guys along with me and give you updates as the days progress to show you where I am and about how many things I've done in that time frame so far. My goal for this is to use up a bunch of these little balls that I have of the Lion Brand mandala because my basket is full to overflowing and I can't put anything else in it. I will be using some of the Caron Simply Soft in certain colors to do certain plushies because of the colors that I need for them. If you don't know what a Pomodoro is, it's a workflow to make yourself take breaks regularly. It's good for people that are neurodivergent like me. And what it essentially is your standard Pomodoro is a 25-minute work block followed by a short rest. Then you repeat that 4 times and then you take a longer rest. Mine are set up in 25-minute increments with a 5-minute break. After 4 of those, I then will take a slightly longer 15 to half-hour break just to give my hands a chance to rest and recuperate, get a drink, that kind of thing. My end result is to have actually 12 working hours and see how many of these mini plushies that I can make in those 12 hours. I'm going to start with the baby mini turtles that I've done before. I'm going to do the fish, the hermit crabs, the little Claude the crab. They're all small, tiny projects. They take me anywhere from 8 to about 20 minutes, depending on the mini. I'm using the Lion Brand mandala ombres in a wide variety of colors, as well as some Caron Simply Soft colors, my normal 3.25 millimeter crochet hook, and 10 millimeter safety eyes for everything. My goal is to use up 1 full pack of safety eyes and to dwindle down some of the mandala balls that I have rolled up already so that I can bust into some new ones. I'll show you my progress throughout the 2 days as I work on this and keep you updated along the way, and we'll meet back here when all is said and finished to see if I succeeded in using the entire pack of safety eyes, which would equal about 60 minis in 2 days. That's my goal. So let's head over to the craft table and get stitching. Here we are finishing up the last of the baby turtles. This is number 18, and we used the Lion Brand mandala ombre for all the turtles that we did today. I used 10 millimeter safety eyes for them, and we are about 4 hours into doing these mini plushies. I will update you shortly on the next batch that I do. Okay, we are 50 minutes into working on the fishies, and we've reached about our halfway point for my goal for the fishies. I've got 7 in the basket out of 12. So 2 more Pomodoros and I should be done the fishies. 12 little fishies. a whole bunch of different colors. All done. Took us an hour and 36 minutes. And in the basket they go with the turtles. Right. Up next, we're going to be working on the little hermit crabs. I have everything all picked out and the safety eyes prepped and ready to go. I found 2 almost done hermit crabs in my scrap bin. I'm going to finish them up and include them in the total. So the goal is 10 new hermit crabs plus the 2 bonus ones that we found. So let's get stitching. Up next on our check-in are the little hermit crabs. We have all the shells made and all the bodies made. Now we're going to assemble them and see how long that takes. The hermit crabs are all assembled now. It took us about 2 hours and 30 minutes to make all of them start to finish. They are a combination of the Lion brand mandala yarn as well as some Heron Simply Soft in oranges and reds. We wound up with a grand total of 12 hermit crabs, and it took us 2 hours and 30 minutes to complete all 12. Up next on the agenda is 14 little crabs. I found a handful of little crab claws in my scrap bin, so we're going to use them up, and I picked out all my colors, laid out all my safety eyes, and now we're ready to start. Last check-in of the video, and we did all the baby crabs in a variety of the Lion brand mandala, as well as finished up some red ones out of Heron Simply Soft Harvest Red. This took us about 4 hours and 8 minutes to do, and we wound up with a grand total of 14 baby crabs. A whole wide variety of different colors, and they all look so cute piled up together. So now let's head over to finish out the video and see what our grand total for this challenge was. Well, this has been a very fun challenge for me. I got to see how many minis that I could do in about 12 hours. It provided me with a nice restock on my mini fish bowls. And let's tally them up and see how we did. I say we did pretty good. It's a lot of fish, turtles, and crabs. So let's talk some numbers. For starters, we did the little mini turtles, and we wound up with a total of 18 turtles. That took me about 4 hours and 10 minutes to do all 18 of them, and every single one of them was made out of the mandala balls that I wanted to use up, which is fantastic progress to start with. Then we moved on to the little fish. We crocheted up 12 of those. And surprisingly, these only took me an hour and 36 minutes. Out of all the 4 things that we did, this was the fastest that it took me. And I mean, there's really nothing to them. They're quick, super quick compared to the rest of these minis. And again, we used only the Lion brand mandalas for them. So there's a wide variety of colors, and they add to the basket, which was really nice. Then we moved on to the little hermit crabs. These I did add in some Caron Simply Soft in an orange and a red because I had found some bodies that were already partially started, so we finished those up. So my goal for these was only to do 10, but I wound up doing 12. And most of them did wind up in the mandala. These took me 2 hours and 30 minutes for the grand total of 12 of them. Then as I was rooting through, we found a couple crab claws and we added them to the mix. So I did do 4 crabs in the Caron Simply Soft, but the rest of the 14 crabs we did in the mandala balls. So again, there's a nice variety of colors for people to pick from. And we wound up with 14 of them, and they took me 4 hours and 8 minutes. So all in all, we wound up with a grand total of 56 minis in 12 hours and 24 minutes. I went over my time by a little bit, but I still call that a win. We didn't meet the 60 that I was aiming for, but we got really close. We were only 4 short of the 60 that I wanted, which is still, again, a win. We started this endeavor with 874 grams of the mandala balls. And I can insert a clip of the beginning and what we started with as far as the mandala balls and how much we started with. You can see there was quite a bit. My basket was overflowing. And a full pack of the safety eyes. We managed to work that down so that now in this next clip, I only have 675 grams of the mandala balls left. They fit comfortably in my basket, which means we used a total of 199 grams to make all of these plushies, which is insane. That's just over 1 ball of the mandala that we used up, which is fantastic because, like I said, we started with a lot. I only made a small dent in the basket, but it wound up being a huge impact on my inventory because these little guys don't just sit in the basket. They get put into these cute little fish bowls, and I sell them for $10. The stones are held in with an epoxy resin. So this week we also sat and poured the epoxy resin into the jars. I wound up with 100 jars that are prepped and ready to go, 6 bigger fish bowls, 16 tanks that I use for axolotls and snakes and things like that are a little bigger than this, and 1 bonus tank that is my showstopper piece, which, if you remember from a few videos ago, that puffer fish is going to go in that big tank. And it took me about 3 hours to pour the resin and the stones and prep all those bowls. And it takes a few days for them to sit and cure 100%. So I didn't get a chance to package everything so far, but this is still a win considering I still have about 2 weeks till my first show. And I don't need all of this for my first show. This will help set me up for success for the rest of the year because it's off to a good start, and these are one of my best selling items. Last year, I think I sold so many of these sea critters. I don't have the exact numbers off the top of my head, but they sell really well. The kids love them. People buy them to put them on their desk. They make great teacher presents. Everybody just loves them, and it's such a different take on the cute aquatic animals. I let them pick and choose which color they want in the tank because that gives them a sense of connection with the animal that they're picking, and they get to adopt a little fish. So it just works out nicely when they're all set out with the big basket and then a couple jars behind it. Like I said, I have about 2 weeks left till my first show of the year. It's only a small one. My next video will be prepping a bunch of the plants that I make because I was out of stock of a good majority of them. And I will show you what kind of plants that I make for these shows, and we'll talk more about them in the next video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed this, please let me know which plushie you enjoyed the most. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you had a favorite plushie, let me know down in the comments. I listed all the patterns in the description. I hope you join me again next week to see what I've stitched up. Happy stitching. Bye!